Okay, now that we set the system settings, we are going to go to the installation menu. This area here, actually, we use it just to set the camera to make sure everything is good on the camera, that we have a very nice and sharp image. So just for the setting here in this part, I have the option to turn on and off the laser. It's just helping to know where my field of view is. I can turn on and off the focus assistant, and that's just actually an overlay graphic on the image that will simply tell you how sharp is the image you're taking. Under action, I can acquire an image, so it's just going to be a snapshot, a single picture, or I can go continuous, in which it will just take an image, continuously take an image after an image. Here in the advanced, I have the acquire image from, so it's camera because I'm using a camera. I have the exposure time, brightness, and contrast, which is the three parameters we use to get a nice and sharp image. So what I do here right now is that I put my calibration target under the image, because that's the one I will use next on the next step to calibrate. So I want to make sure I have a very good image for that. So we just do acquire. We might take a picture. So this picture is a little bit dark. So I know that I'm going to have to massively increase the exposure time on this one to get a little bit more like a little bit brighter image. Then I have to increase my brightness, so I get a bit more whiter white. And as you see here, I can just, by increasing the contrast a little bit, I will get a very nice, and that's a very nice white, black and white picture. That's what we want. So then at the same time as you do that, you can zoom in the image in the center using the scroll of the mouse. You see those edges here? I want to have very, very sharp edges. So in order to have very sharp edges, what we do is that I will just show you here. We adjust actually the focus of the camera. So if you have an Inspector P640 or 650, it will actually look like that. So if you remove the hood, you see here you have the lens, and this bottom ring here is the one actually that we use to set a very sharp image. So either you go in continuous and you see the image until you have something really sharp, and you move the ring at the same time, and then you can secure it. So if you do have an Inspector P630, it will look more like that. So when you remove the hood here, you have the illumination, and here you have a small ring under it. It's pretty easy to catch it with a finger. It's actually exactly the same as a lector. So you will be able, by moving this wheel, to set a nice and crisp image. And you can tie it with a nut as well once done, and just put back the hood. It is very, very important that the image is as crisp as possible. So if I just show here, if I go in continuous, I'm always taking the same, and I turn on my focus assistant, you see this graphic, it's actually telling me how sharp I am. So if I go for example out of focus, you see that it's diminished, it's reduced. So